Airsofters. I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Team Kilo23. Today we're going to be checking out a very interesting airsoft gun that I'm kind of on the fence about. And if I had pointed ears, I would be a Vulcan. Today we're going to be checking out the S&T G36CV. Now, the S&T G36CV, this is the black version. You can also get it in tan, but it's kind of hard to find in the US right now, which is aggravating. But oh well, the black one's just fine. This is an interesting gun, I have to say. It shoots very fast. It's over 400 feet per second with twos. The rate of fire is okay. It is pretty loud. It's a very whiny gun. The shim job stock is ugh. And even after shimming it, it is pretty loud. I don't know, it's an interesting gun, I'll give it that. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. The externals, I think, are a little bit better than Ares, even though it's pretty much an Ares clone. It does not have a direct copy of the internals, but it's extremely similar. I mean, the design is identical, they just use slightly different materials, and the colors on things are different, which is not a huge deal. But aesthetically, amazing. Has the same features, you know, bolt lock, stuff like that. All that good stuff. Now, the gun is going to come with a 470 round high cap mag and a cleaning rod, and that's it. That's all you get. Well, you get the instruction manual too, but that's kind of a given. The mags do have the interlocking system on either side. I took them off on all my G36 mags so they can fit in specific pouches, and of course I've got the painter's tape on here so I can tell which mag goes to which gun and which one it'll fit in. This one, I'm a little disappointed in as far as the magazine. There's quite a bit of wobble here, and that's not because the magazine has wobble, it's because the magwell itself has wobble. It's not super stable on there. And what can you do? But hey, this is a pretty nice gun. It does run for a little bit less than most Ares G36s. And there's a good reason for that. Ares has really, really nice tuning on their stock guns. S&T is a little lacking in tuning. So if you want to go for a S&T and you know how to tune a gun pretty well, you're going to save yourself $20, $30, $40. If you're not so attuned to tuning, then you probably want to go for an Ares. So let's put this down on the table. Let's check it out. I'll go over all the goods and bads. You guys can kind of decide for yourselves what you think about this gun. So I have the S&T G36CV down on the table. I'm going to start at the back, at the stock of the gun, work our way forward, just like I always do. So let's get started. Now, the S&T stock they use on here, it's really interesting. It's different from a standard G36 stock in that, well, A, it's retractable, B, it's folding, it's got a cheek rest, and it's got a rubberized back. And believe it or not, it can hold a battery. No, not a large type like the G&P can, which really sucks. I'm really disappointed about that. This specific stock will only fit, it can't even fit an 8.4 mini really. You can kind of squeeze it in there, but there is no room for the wiring, so you're going to have to, I don't know, it's just really painful knowing that this stock cannot fit a large type or barely even a mini type battery. Now, the cheek rest on it is very comfortable. I do like it a lot, but God, I wish it was like an inch or two farther forward. The way I grip my gun, I like to put my cheek and my face a little farther up the gun. When you have it like this, you kind of really have to squeeze your cheek into your shoulder. It's kind of uncomfortable. The positioning is, but the cheek rest itself is actually very comfortable. It's rubberized and it's got a very nice texture on it. Now the back of the gun, the butt pad, is actually the same type of rubber. It is rubberized. I really like it a lot. It's very comfortable. You also get the HK logo here, so if you want to switch it over to a different gun, that's pretty cool. Now I told you the stock is retractable. This is all the way out. That is all the way in. It's got a pretty good length. And it can in fact be retracted to farther than a standard folding G36 stock can. Now I've got the stock itself off the back piece, so this here is the stock. Now on our G&P version you can fit a large type battery, but this is an 8.4 mini, and it really has a lot of pressure in there. I really have to shove it in. I mean, there's a little bit of room there for wiring, but it's just really not much. You'd really have to kind of cram it in there, and it'd be really annoying. So I really recommend you guys stick with the front wired setup that it already has. Now, if you guys really want to wire it to the back, I think the easiest and most convenient way to do it, aside from putting the battery actually inside of the stock itself, is to utilize this hole here. You see I can stick my finger in there. It does lead to the inside of the stock, but you have to have the stock positioned at the first retractable point there, aside from the all the way in position. You could run a wire out here and you can have a battery bag on this thing, which would make it really easy to switch batteries. You wouldn't have to take the front off or anything. But it's just an option. You guys don't have to go with that. Be honest, it's much easier just leaving it stock wired to the front. Now let's move up the gun a little bit. The left here, yeah, right there, you got a sling loop. Oh wow, we got another one right there too. Amazing. So you can have a sling on there when the gun is folded, or when the stock is folded, and when it isn't. Now, just like all of the G36s, you can fold the stock like so. Now, for the stock to actually stay clicked in and folded to the right side, you have to have the stock all the way in, like so, or else it just will flop off. It's kind of weird how it does that. The selector on this gun is pretty nice. It's a little loose, but it snaps into place very nicely. It's very audible. Easy as that. The only problems I've had with this selector is a lot of the time on semi, because this gun uses one of those aggravating micro switches, you have to actually like hold the trigger all the way back for like a half a second before it actually fire. That's the only problem I've had with this gun, really, as far as the electrical and shooting. The Ares version does not have this, probably because those are better made. Now the bolt assembly, oh dang, this is one of my favorites. It's just like the Ares system where you pull the bolt back like so, push the little button up just inside the trigger guard, and that button is just right here. You just push that upward right when you get the bolt pulled back and you're good to go. Once you have it locked back, you can adjust the hop up, but realize this gun also has a decocking feature. When you press that button upward, it decocks the gun. So sometimes when you're firing it with the bolt locked back, the anti-reversal latch will not engage, so it decycles, and that's not good for the gun. So what I recommend doing is just pulling the bolt back a little bit, adjusting it, letting it go forward, then firing when you're adjusting the hop up for the first time. When you let the bolt go, all you have to do is pull the bolt back, and it'll sling forward. Pretty nice feature. Now, the sights on this gun are a little different. You get the standard like large, medium peep aperture here. You can flip that up. That's weird. I've never had another G36 sight do that. Anyway, you flip it up there and you kind of get this notch design. It's kind of like using an MP7 or a P90 or just guns like that, or an AUG or something like that. It's a very interesting design. Not a lot of G36 sights have this, so it's a pretty nice feature. Front sight's just the same as any other G36. It's non-adjustable. Keep in mind that you can actually remove these sights. They're just held in by a single pin. Now, a feature I really love about this gun is the trades. It does have the HK trades. There is no sticker on top of it like the Ares. It just says G36CV 5.56mm instead of the stupid little 6mm thing like on the KWA and the Ares sticker that comes on the Ares. If you love trades, this gun is the way to go for trades. Now, the battery is held in the handguard here. The way you get to the battery is you pop the forward pin out there. Yeah, your pin's out. And simply slide it off. Now, some goods and bads about this. The goods, it's not wired like, you know, the standard TM design where it kind of wraps around the front or whatever and you gotta hook it up in the top of it. It's really weird like that. This just runs straight out from the little hole where the gearbox sticks through a little bit. I have put a Dean's connector on here. It does come with a mini Tamiya stock. Now, my one gripe about the wiring and stuff, the wiring coating is very soft. It's very similar to if you've ever handled an A&K gun, it's extremely similar to that, except the coating is a little darker in color. So it does have the potential to rip really easily, so you got to be careful with that. The handguard, it's just like anything else really. You got all three rails on there, which is nice. Some of the cheaper guns, TM, JG, you have to buy the rails separate. That costs up to like $30, so you get them with the gun. That's kind of an added bonus. You also got a sling loop here on the bottom, either side, and you can detach it if you don't want it. Now, as far as what kind of battery you can fit in here, you got a handful of batteries that'll fit, not a ton. I found the easiest to get in here is 8.4 volt mini, which does not get a very fast rate of fire. This gun is shooting over 400 feet per second. It's got like a 120 or 130 spring in there. So an 8.4 pulling something like that, even on a high torque motor like this gun has, is going to be pretty slow, like 12 rounds a second or something. I'd really recommend a 9.6 volt nunchuck battery, not a mini, but a nunchuck. I've had some trouble fitting 9.6 minis on this gun. It's really a pain. The nunchuck's the way to go. It's just the easiest thing to get in there. You can get those for anywhere from like $25 to $35, depending on the milliamp hour and the brand and all that stuff. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about on this gun before we chrono it and check all that cool stuff out is the flash hider. On this gun, it is plastic, but I spray painted mine a little bit, and now it looks black. Honestly, when you're looking at it, you can't tell the difference between whether it's black or plastic or metal when it's black like this. You guys don't have to rush out and buy like a $30 metal flashlight that's all black. Just get some nice spray paint and spray it down. I really recommend having a black flashlight as opposed to an orange one. Orange one, you're just going to get spotted in the woods. I've done it dozens of times, and I pick them off in one shot because I know exactly where they are. So I'm going to go ahead and chrono this gun now using a 9.6 volt battery and some .2s. Let's see how fast it's shooting. Now those shots were right about the 400 to 420 mark. We had one or two that were low and one that was ridiculously high, over 500, and that was the chrono being stupid on me again. So this gun shoots probably around the 410, 415 range on average. Now, last thing, this gun does have the blowback feature, but I disabled mine. All you have to do is take out the lower receiver, unscrew the back top screw on the gearbox, and take the little blowback slide out. That'll disable it. But really, the blowback, it A, slows the rate of fire, B, makes the gun sound like it's falling apart at the seams. The Ares blowback is much more crisp and smooth. This gun just feels like it's just gonna fall apart in your hands when you do it. So I highly recommend you disable the blowback. Also, when I open this gun up to check out the internals and stuff, the piston, in my opinion, is with the M120, M130 spring, it cannot handle the blowback feature for very long. I think that it's going to crack the back of the piston off, and you're just going to have to spend 30 or 40 bucks on a new piston. If you want to retain the blowback on this gun, you should A, shin the gears, B, tune the motor height, and C, replace the piston and piston head. Those three things will basically allow you to keep the blowback. If you do not do that, it may last for a while, it may not, but it will break relatively quickly just because of that. Alright, that about does it for the S&T G36CV. I don't know. It's an alright gun. It might not be worth the price they're asking for it, because the tuning and just the internal quality, really. But overall, it's a pretty nice gun, and I think you get quite a bit for what you're paying. Maybe not quite, but I don't know. You guys decide. Thanks for watching. I'm Prodigy from Airsoft Team Kilo23. Live long and prosper.